A couple years ago, I did 2 rounds of interview at Apple, and this is for one of their software tester positions for the iWork suite of apps. For those of you who may not know what iWork is, it's basically Apple's version of Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So, this is my experience with the interview, and I will give my reasons as to why I declined the job offer. At the time of the interview, I was really looking for another software testing job, but I didn't know exactly where I would fit in because there are some skills that I do not have despite my years of experience in the field. So when the offer came to interview at Apple, I was excited at the time. And as someone who is a big Apple fan, this is kind of a dream come true. But when I went through the interview process, it became more of a you do not want to meet your heroes. So basically, the interview was 2 parts. The first part, I interviewed with the person who was going to be my direct manager, and the second would be his manager and another manager who also works on the numbers product. My interview with my would-be manager went well. I was a bit nervous at the time, but I'm pretty sure anyone who's done an interview before know exactly how nerve-wracking it is. However, when I got accepted to the second round interview, which quite frankly, I had my doubts that I will be just because it's Apple. You're going to get talented people all around the world applying. So I just figured my chances of scoring a second round, let alone a first round interview, was slim. It was not until the second round of interviews was when I started to have a sour taste in my mouth, pause, about working for Apple. While the interview with the numbers manager went well, in addition to one of their QA staff members, it was when I got to the director of software testing at Apple, it just felt like it was not a good match. For some reason, this person felt entitled, and he felt like it was like a privilege to work at Apple. Quite frankly, that was a bit of a turnoff because one, these companies don't care about employees, so they can just fire you, they can lay you off, which is happening all over the country. Everyone's getting laid off. Once you leave that position, then they're gonna replace you in a matter of weeks when the next year's budget is finally approved. I was offered a role at Apple, and after thinking about it for a few days, I decided to decline. And the reason I declined was one, because of my second round interview with my would-be manager's manager, and two, I don't feel like working at Apple is any sort of flex, to be honest. Yes, it's one of the most valuable companies in the world. They make really good products. Sometimes they make really shitty products. I kind of feel like I wouldn't get a lot of satisfaction from it, just because I think in retrospect that I'm looking for something more. I'm looking for ownership. I'm looking for something that I can build on my own and be proud of, which is why I decided to start this channel in the first place. Of course, with me working at Apple and giving all of these Apple tips and sometimes talking about rumors, there would be a conflict of interest. And I would either have to pivot the channel, which is sometimes not a good thing, or actually close down the channel, which is something I don't want to do because it's something I am building. But I do want to offer some advice for those who want to interview at big tech companies. First, I think it's important to get all of the appropriate skills. Right now, every tech company is looking for people specializing in AI. 2022, it was blockchain. Just remember that everyone, including mainstream media, was talking about blockchain. Now you really don't hear about it as much, But with AI, it's a little bit different because it's directly impacting our everyday lives. We get random AI in products such as smart TVs. You know, the PlayStation 5 Pro has built-in AI for graphics. Your Apple Watch has AI. It's everywhere, unlike blockchain. I know the crypto bros are going to hate me for saying that, but when you compare the two technologies, there's a lot more demand for AI. Whether you want to be a prompt engineer or work on the models that the AI is using, or you want to do something in risk management or project management, that's going to be up to you. But I would say that if you are going to focus on AI, you definitely want to make sure your skills are up to par. You want to make yourself so indispensable that if you were to be replaced, the whole company would shut down. My second piece of advice is to actually learn something that you like to do. I know in my previous advice, I talked all about AI, but if AI is not something you care about, then you shouldn't waste money purchasing courses, doing all of these things just to get a certificate in AI, and that's not something you want to do. I think that if you find what you are good at, what people are willing to pay you for, and you get some job satisfaction, then that is the perfect combination of criteria you can use to build your IT career, or even like your career in general. This advice actually doesn't only apply to IT positions, but pretty much any position. So that is it. That is just a little bit of my experience interviewing at Apple, why I declined, and some advice for people who are just starting their careers in tech. Let me know what you think. Would you have accepted the job interview at Apple? If not, let me know why. I want to thank all 509 or either 510. It kind of fluctuates between the days, but we finally hit over 500 subscribers, and I really appreciate all of you. Now the next step is going to be 1,000 subscribers, and from there, sky's the limit. So until next time, I will see you in the next video. Take care.